Oh, hey, Nomadians. It's been a bit since we did something, so I think the last time we talked about the Zero shoes. Today we're going to have a little bit of fun talking about backpacks. I have kind of a passion for backpacks. Backpacks. And the reason why is, yeah, that's how you get your gear out into the woods. So when you're out there hunting, you need to have, certain necessities, all the way from just having a little bit of water and maybe a pocket knife and a flashlight, all the way down to what am I going to have in my pack if I get lost. Now, I'm not going to go through each individual piece of equipment that I have in my backpacks. I'm going to talk about the backpacks in general. So that all being said, we're going to start off with, look at all these backpacks I have here. We're going to start off with my regular 3-day pack. So this right now is put into a waterproof pack. I couldn't even give you the name of this one. So this pack is basically waterproof. I got it basically for canoeing and kayaking, but it fits my 3-day pack quite easily with other stuff. So here is my 3-day pack, which basically has everything that I would need to be out in the woods for a little bit longer than 3 days. I could probably, I don't necessarily have food in here, maybe a couple of snacks or morsels here and there. When we think about it, the rule of thumb should always be in survival is going to be shelter, water, fire, food. So you need to have in your pack some sort of shelter, some sort of water, some sort of way to make fire, and then maybe some food, whether it be a protein bar or a protein shake or whatever it may be, granola bar. So always kind of remember that when it comes to survival. It's going to help to keep you, that's going to keep you warm. That's the first thing that's going to go in a survival situation. Second thing is water. You can go up to about 3 days without water, but you're going to be getting kind of hinky at about the 3rd day and not having any water. I put fire before food because a lot of times you're going to have to cook your food if you're in a survival situation. So you got to have a means of making a fire, and then finally your food. You could go for several days without food. They say that you can go up to 30 days without food. Look at a little bit of Naked and Afraid or Alone, bunch of shows on TV where people starve themselves for days on end, and they seem to get along pretty good. Anyways, long story short, this is a gift from the old Gray Bear. He got himself one of these packs as well, and I believe we picked these up at Cabela's. And I found out that this pack is made by SOG, which I kind of figured that it was. I'm not exactly sure what model it is, but I'll tell you what I like about backpacks. I like lots of pockets so that you can separate things into areas of need. So rather than throwing everything into one big rucksack and then having to fish through it when you need it, if you get yourself a pack that has several different pockets, it gives you the opportunity to put things specifically where you need them, and you could go right to them when you need them. This one has side packs. It has the molly clips, so you can attach things to the outside of your backpack. It has a drop down front lip on it. It has a secondary. There's another zippered pouch that's in the front. There's another zippered pouch that's on the top. The other thing that I don't like about this pack is that this zipper right here only opens one way. And this is where I keep the things that I use fairly readily, like my compass and my binoculars, flashlight, are usually in this pouch that's up on top. But it only has one zippered enclosure, where most of all the other ones have dual zippers on them, so you can open them either direction. This would have been a nice addition for this pack if they would have done it, but they didn't. Then it has your inner pack, which on the inner pack has my water bladder, and this gets into what the negative part of this pack is. I like a backpack that stands up on its own, that doesn't fall over or collapse, that's crushable. This one's crushable and makes things a little bit difficult with setting it down and then it falling over. Worst thing is if you set it down when you're getting into your tree stand to put your, put your bow up or whatever the case, and you set it down, it has a tendency to topple over. So in this one, I put a wooden back plating in it to help it to stand up a little bit more. This one did not come with a hydration system, so I'm using, and we're going to talk about this in the next pack, I'm using a Blackhawk Hydrastorm hydration bladder on the inside of it that I use. It works the same. If you're not familiar with Hydrastorm, something more along the lines is, so it's very similar to something that you would find in a backpack from Camelback. They're the other ones that are more popular out there for hydration backpacks. This backpack is, like I said, the only thing that I really don't like about this is that once I have it out in the field, and it has jacked me a couple of times when I go to set it down and I'm sitting there and gravity kind of slowly takes effect on it and it decides that it wants to topple over when a deer's right out in front of me. It just has a tendency to just roll on over by itself. So here's an example of what goes wrong with this one. Is it leans over on itself forward and it doesn't set like something that sits upright and doesn't roll over. This one kind of rolls over a little bit, which ends up tending to fall out of this, that, or the other place. Other than that though, pretty decent pack. It's got a zippered access to the back, so I can keep longer rigid items in the back of the pack here. I've got my little bear stabbing knife. I've got my tree saw and a handy dandy bow hook if I need that. So there's a couple of things that I fit in here that help keep it straight and upright and give it a little bit firmer back. Good pack though. What I prefer in packs, so anyways, I said this was made by SOG. It's got MOLLE clips up here on the shoulders as well, adjustable. I can hang my light off of here so I'm coming out in the woods, nobody shoots me. On this side, the other side, carry me a little tactical knife in case I have to get to something. This is my GPS clip, my radio clip. So like I said, you got a bunch of different options on this, and this is the type of pack that I like. Something that has multiple pockets, fairly lightweight. This is a little bit on the heavy side with the water bladder that's in it. But the pouches and the outside clips make it awesome because everything is readily accessible and you can get right to it. Leatherman, another multi-tool, a little light, so that's on the back of the pack, so that when I'm walking out of the woods, I'm lighted from the front and the back during gun season, scary times. There's where the hydration water drinker is, and it's got a pretty decent size on it, and we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 small pouches that are on here. On the side, on the front, up top here. There's another one, a zippered one on the inside, and then there's the big pack that's on the inside that you can add some more stuff into. That is the SOG pack. I don't have the name for it. My favorite pack, and I'm thinking about going back to this one, is made by Blackhawk, and it's called the Hydrastorm. And it's basically a day pack. They may call it as a 3-day pack, but this is a little bit more lightweight, a little bit more ergonomic. And what I mean by that, when it's on your back and you're moving through the woods, you really don't know that it's there. The drawback to it has less space for storage than the SOG does. It basically has your bottom pouch. It has a top, a zipper, or a top big bag with a bunch of MOLLE clips in it. Then there's another zippered section that's in here for holding stuff. And then you've got another bigger section where the water bladder goes in the back. Not a lot of storage as much as the SOG, but this one pretty much stands upright on its own, and it's lightweight enough and easy enough that when you're moving through the woods or moving through the brush, it doesn't flop around on your back, and it doesn't slosh around on your back. So this one is my absolute favorite, and I switched to it when Gray Bear got me the SOG, and I like the SOG. As I said earlier, I don't really have anything wrong with it, but I love being agile and having the ability to be able to move through the brush without my backpack getting caught on a bunch of stuff. And this Hydrastorm does a huge benefit to your ninja skills. That all being said, I have tried to find this online, and I can find this pack online. I want to think I found it on Amazon. If it's not this specific pack, Amazon does offer some other packs by Blackhawk, other Hydrastorm packs that actually work out pretty good. But to actually try and find this one is a little bit on the tricky side. Now, Blackhawk does have their own website, but their packs have changed drastically from the day and age when I got this Hydrastorm from them. And you just have to do some research on it. They do something that's kind of what I think is really interesting now, and I like the idea of it. Rather than going with like a 2-liter water bladder that fits in the back of the pack, they do rather than having one that fits in the pack, they now have one that's mountable on the outside of the pack with MOLLE clips, or you could put it on a waist belt. And the difference is it holds 40 ounces of water, as opposed to, I think the regular ones hold 2 liters of water. So there's a significant more water in the backpack one. But if you wanted to get that one and try to find it on blackhawk.com, you're gonna play heck trying to find that on there. I think they have one that's on there, but they want $80 and it's already in a pack. So it's basically a pack that they wrap around the bladder that has virtually no backpack capability at all, other than carrying the water bladder. So water, like I said before, when we look at our four corners of survival, and that shelter, water, fire, food. So we can carry our shelter in our backpack, we can carry our water in our backpack. 40 ounces of water is okay, but if you get lost and you're going to be out there for several days, you want water that's going to last you a little bit longer. So for the most part, that kind of wraps up what I like in a backpack. This is like basically my favorite pack. It's lightweight, it's easy to move, I can run with it, I can climb with it. The only difference between this one and my 3-day pack, I would consider this a day pack. The 3-day pack has more storage. So you could go up to, another tactical environment that we talk about in being in the woods is 1 is none, 2 is some. That being said, you basically take your survival tools and you build on them, or you replicate them. So like a full, going backpacking pack, that's one of them big ones that covers your whole back and goes over your head and carries a sleeping bag and a bedroll and all that other stuff. That's like your all of your equipment should be in there. But you have what you carry on your person, then your next step up is going to be what I would consider to be like a go bag, which is usually like a fanny pack, something like that. And then you move into a day bag, which is something like this. And the better you get at your survival skills, the less stuff that you actually need in your pack. So your day pack can sometimes be a 3-day to a week pack. And then ultimately we go to what the SOG was, and that was a 3-day pack. This is my go-to. I really, really like this one. I like being lean and mean and being able to move. Getting smaller than that is a smaller This would be what I would consider to be almost like a go bag. This is also was made by Blackhawk. I don't even know if you can find this one anymore. But this is also a Hydrastorm, and this one's called the Tsunami, and it has a smaller pack that's in the front, a smaller zippered pouch, and an upper pouch. This is your 2 storage compartments, and that's pretty much it for this pack. It has the water bladder that's in here. I might as well show you. It's really nice. I like this idea in the Blackhawk Hydrastorms, is they have little Velcro loops that go through the holes in the water bladder to hold the water bladder upright rather than squishing down as the water goes out. The drink tube goes through a slot that's in the back of it, and this is, all 3 of them have the same option, and that's basically your water bladder. Obviously, I recommend sterilizing it and cleaning it every so often. I probably should do it more often than I do, but this is definitely a ton of water. And when you're out there in a survival situation, you know, water is up in the top tier of your 4 corners, so you want to make sure that you have enough with you. I have, on occasion, foregone the water bladder, and what seems to work really well for me is smart water bottles. Smart water bottles, you could fit 2 of them that slide in the backpack, and they're narrow enough, and they don't, the tall skinny ones, that they actually fit in here, and you can put 2 of them in there. The only difference is rather than just taking the drinking tube out and drinking off of it, you actually got to pull the bottle out of the back of the pack. So that's a recommendation when it comes to hydration is, like I said, smart water bottles. They're narrow but tall. Put 2 of them. They'll usually fit in the back of one of these packs, and they help to hold it upright as well. Some tricky things that you want to think about with these water bladders is if you want to be stealth, if you're going to be stalking around, still hunting for deer, you got to get all the air out of them so they don't make this sloshy noise, which is fairly easy to do. You fill the water bladder up, you know, and you get all the air where the tube is, where the pickup tube is, and then you just suck the air out of the bag, and it doesn't make that much noise. A little bit quieter than a water. You can't do that with a water bottle. You can do that with the hydration packs. So there it is. That's basically what we have for packs. And what is in the pack, that's a completely different thing, and that's going to be something personal that you yourself are going to want to go through. I could give you an idea what packs and why I like the packs. I told you, as I was talking earlier, when we're looking at the packs, you can start with what you carry on your person, what you carry in your pockets, and then the next step up would be a fanny pack. If I was only going out, not far from the truck and not worrying about getting lost, I may consider using a fanny pack that's going to basically have a knife, a lighter, a compass, my binoculars, and maybe a granola bar. But if I'm going out and I'm getting away from the truck a little bit further or away from the parking area to where I may run into possibly getting lost, and then I'll make sure that I grab a day bag, which is going to now have some water and extra survival tools. If I'm going out all day and I plan on being out there from dusk to dawn and walking around and covering some ground, I'm going to go probably with the bigger pack, the SOG pack. And it's just like everything in our hunting gear, everybody has a personal preference. I like backpacks that are small, lightweight, and stealthy. If I'm going out in the woods for a while, I'll take this out. I don't want to walk around with this. I'll take this out, and let's just say that I'm going to my ground blind, and eventually I'm going to go and hunt the ground blind at night, and then I want to go move around during mid-afternoon for a couple hours, do some stalking and some scouting. I will leave this in my ground blind, and then I'll go out with I'll go out and move around, because it's heavy to move around with this. This gets burdensome during the day. The other problem that you have with all of these packs, if you're gun hunting, something to think about is the shoulder straps fit right where you go to shoulder your rifle. So if you're going to be shooting, a lot of times what I'll do is that I'll take the pack on and I'll sling it over my shoulder this way, And then I'll grab the waist belt. I'll grab the chest strap or the belly strap, which usually either across the chest or around the waist, and I'll take this shoulder and sling it off, and then I'll set it up so that it's basically I'm holding it by one shoulder strap and the chest strap, so that way if I need to shoulder my weapon, I can still shoulder it here with the backpack on. And this goes for almost all the backpacks. With the backpacks on, when you go to shoulder it, the butt of the gun sits right here, and it can throw off your field of vision when it comes to looking through the scope or whatever the case may be. But that's it. That's talking about backpacks. You can go to Blackhawk.com and you can see what they have for packs that are in there. I wasn't a big fan of what their new options are. They don't have a lot of options. They do have colors, but you'll have to look. The difference is now is you won't be able to buy one that has the bladder in it. They list it as an option. So you're looking at almost $200 for the pack, and then almost another $100 for a hydration pack. Might look at their little 40-ounce sling packs. I'm gonna look into them myself. I kind of like the idea. Amazon.com is another spot. You can go in there. Blackhawk's got a few things on Amazon.com. Not only just Blackhawk, I think the SOG is in there. Again, shop around, but remember that if you're going to use it for hunting, you don't want to have something that just takes up a ton of space, but you want to be able to get all your gear in there as well. The other place that I found some of the stuff was on opticsplanet.com. They actually have a picture of the Blackhawk Hydrastorm, the one that I have. I suppose what I should probably do is triplicate my survival stuff and set each one of them up for what I want to do, which means I have to go buy some more gear, which gets more expensive. That way when I'm going out for the day, I know what I'm going to go. Like if I'm out turkey hunting, it's this one, covering a lot of ground. My big pack is in the back of the truck, but this one goes with me when I bail out and we're doing some running and gunning. This one works fairly good for running and gunning as well. You know, I use a pack. I try to use a pack when I'm out dirt biking, but sometimes it throws my balance off, so I might switch over to a fanny pack for dirt biking. It's out there. Remember, you're going to get what you pay for. So, you know, look for something that's good. The Cordura or the denim work really good. I've done pretty good with those. You may look at water resistant. Because inevitably it's going to rain on you. So some type of water resistance, a way that you can kind of save yourself if you out there carry a garbage bag in your backpack, and then that way when you're out there, if it starts raining on you, you can put the garbage bag over the top of the backpack, and that's going to actually protect it from the water. Why not get a waterproof backpack? I suppose that you could, but you're going to pay some more money, and they're a little bit noisier. So there you go. There is the Nomad Outdoors Cruel Dogs review of backpacks, and that's what I have. Another good thing to carry in a backpack is a backup battery for your phone. You know, they sell them now, the little battery packs that you pre-charge, and they'll stay charged for months and months and months. You can plug it into your phone. That way you can get some signal. Make sure you carry a whistle, a signal mirror. Survival tip, while you're out there with your backpack, if you get lost, unless you absolutely know where you're going to get out, just sit still. Sit still, make yourself a fire, make yourself a shelter, you know, send some smoke signals. But the best thing is, people are going to go to where you were last supposed to be. And if you get lost and you're not far from that point, then people are going to find you. But if you wander aimlessly trying to find your way out of the woods, they're chasing you doing the same thing. So in a survival situation, just kind of, if you get yourself lost, just kind of stay put. Weather yourself through the night, make yourself a fire, make yourself a shelter. When you get up in the morning, throw some you know, stuff that's going to make a lot of smoke off of your fire, and hopefully they come and find you. So we're going to end that, our little talk on packs. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you when we see you. Turkey season's coming up. We got our permits. Me and Gray Bear and the old Jer Bear are going to be out there running gunning for turkeys come the end of April. So we're going to start filming for, I guess it would be season 11, and that's when it's all going to start with turkey hunting. All right. Peace out. Stay nomadian. Thanks.